Hi, welcome to Upcycle Art Journal. We are going to make a mini journal with a little greeting card. We're going to start by putting just a tiny bit of glue on the corner because I don't trust these book corners to stay on. So I just want a tiny bit to make sure. And I'm going to pop some book corners on the corners, use my needle nose pliers and pinch them down, but just having that little bit of Aleene's glue on the corner is going to ensure to me that it's not going to fall off once that sets. So just a real light pinch. Try not to dent them, but just make sure that they're going to adhere. The next thing I'm going to do is put 2 pockets in. So I already cut about 3 3/4 by 2.5 inch papers. So I got those all set. Going to put a little punch with my circle punch so that there's a little finger notch just so they know it's a pocket, even though I always include something in the pockets. I'm going to put some Aleene's along the sides and the bottom, and I'm going to adhere that inside cover of the greeting card. Sometimes I'll use a variety of different scrapbook papers and I'll change it up. The front pocket will be different than the back pocket, but I just happened to grab 2 of the same and they went fine with it. So pre-cutting them and having them set and having the holes punched out definitely helps you with a mask make if you wanted to do that. So I can get both of those glued on, and while the glue's setting on that, I'm going to get my papers in order. So for my papers, I have 8 papers. I have a heavier duty scrapbook paper that I always start with, just gives it some strength for the little signature inside. And these are cut 8 by 5.5 because I want them just a little bit smaller than the greeting card. So I'm going to start with that. I'm going to do a red and a green copy paper. And those are already cut 8 by 5.5 as well. And then I'm going to put a mulberry paper just to have a little bit different kind of paper. You could use wrapping paper, you could use Florentine paper, a big variety with that. Then I'm going to put the smaller scrapbook paper. This one is, I think, 5.5 by 6 maybe. Just something else colorful. Then a green. Then I put a computer paper in, and then the last red one because I wanted red in the middle. So I'm kind of doing them all the same. I'm going to take it all together, line it up. That smaller paper is going to be maybe not in the center, but I don't mind it being a little off. Then I'm going to take my envelope that comes with it, and I'm going to cut the bottom off of the envelope. So if you hold up the envelope to mail, you're going to cut the very bottom off, and that's going to become a pocket for us. I'm going to fold that up, and I'm just going to, find a spot anywhere in there. I kind of try not to have it next to the specialty papers, try to break it up. So that's going to go right in the middle. I'm going to use one of my clips to clip that in, fold everything together, get one of those little plastic clips and hold it in while I grab my pokey tool, my needle, and my waxed cotton thread. I'm going to use black for this one. I did order some red because I want to try to do red on some of them. And I use 3 lengths of the greeting card. So that's going to give me plenty that I can work with. I can tie it off. I'm going to thread the needle. I have a nice big-eyed needle, makes it super easy to thread. For this size paper, you don't have to use the pokey tool. I did make one without it, but it is much harder. So if you can just get a little hole started in there with that awl or pokey tool, as I like to call it. And then I'm going to go through that middle. I'm always going to do a 3-hole because that's what my brain can do well. Go through the middle, come back up. You can pick the top or the bottom. I typically go back up through the top, come back in towards the center, and then we're going to go back into the center hole, making sure not to fray the thread that's already in there. And my roughness on the needles will maybe show why I tend to break them a lot. But this one didn't break. So we're doing good. Haven't broken a needle for a few days, so super good. And then go in that bottom hole, pull it through, and then going to pull it tight And I am going to flip it over just to make sure that everything looks good on the other side before I tie it. Make sure something didn't get stuck in there or there was some kind of fraying. Just make sure that that looks good. I'm going to go ahead and tie it. I'm going to do a double knot, put my thumb on there, and it's a little hard to see, but pull that out real quick and do a double, and then cut off the ends. I do like to keep enough just prior to the bottom of it because it looks kind of fun. So there we have the book. It's all set up. It's just a little greeting card. You can buy them in multiple sets on Amazon and other places. You can use greeting cards you already have, and you can adapt it to whatever size greeting card that you might have. I am going to do some with, some old greeting cards to actually upcycle them. And then I just had some cutouts on my desk that I was working on and filling them in. And I just, put a variety of what's there in there. I like to sit and cut out things in the evening. My cat loves to help. So we have a little party cutting things out and her laying on my lap and getting into everything. But I just kind of look at some different ephemera. I print some on cardstock, and then I print some on more of a heavy copy paper like that 32 pound, just because a variety of papers is always fun to have. So a variety of different things going in there. Some small ones, some bigger ones, trying to go with the theme. These are more of a retro, I would say, card rather than a vintage card. So I'm going to put in things that have kind of that same feel to it. You can see lots of writing space. Make sure, that if you have scrapbook paper and it's directional, that you're not putting it in upside down. Believe me, I've done that before. Put a little kitty in there and some reindeer, and this is a good spot in the back to put a tag. And it's all done, and we put a little clip on it, and that is ready and set to send off to somebody.